Hi there, Mindy Brouse, FE Director, Master Artist Project, Grandma Moses. All right, so tutors, you will have 3 different samples of Grandma Moses art. The first thing you will do is introduce her name and then let the kids look at her art. Draw out observations. You will have 15 minutes for phase 1 of the project, which will be drawing observations and then drawing with oil pastels and Sharpies. The final phase will be watercoloring. All right, so draw out what's going on here. What is she trying to do here? Try to lead them eventually to the fact that she's telling a story in each of her pieces, that it's called folk art, and there are lots of things going on in this picture. Draw out what they learn in perspective, and the different layers of the land and all the activity. Ask them how many buildings, how many people, okay? Draw those observations out. Let them look at each of the pieces, all right? I love her stuff. It's a little bit difficult for a project for kids, but I think we can do this. Again, we're focusing on the artist and her style, not masterpieces. Remind them that she's known as a master artist because she did this for a long time. She practiced. You can also read more about her in your Great Artist book. It's very fascinating to me that she taught herself and didn't start painting until she was much older. So, all right, phase 1 of our project will be drawing, and again, remind them folk art and landscape. We'll be drawing our landscape and our details using oil pastels and then a Sharpie. Reminder, I try to use different medium for each project so the kids get that experience. So, for the youngest 2 classes, especially maybe 3, you decide, you can walk them through and they need to do exactly what you do. That's totally fine. Remember, this is not a creative art project. This is imitation of a master. Remind the students when they go home, they can springboard. The parents can springboard and do all sorts of different things with this. But for Community Day, we're imitating an artist, and so it's okay, tutors, if you want to tell them to do what you do. With the older students, again, it's not creative art. They don't get to just do whatever they want and make this purple fields and all these things, okay? We're imitating her style. All right, so the first thing will be to get them to draw their horizon line, which they learned about in oils, all right? And then walk them through again. Point out again. You can have these out at the tables. I'm going to take this one because I really like all these different fields. I think that's pretty great. And so then I'm going to have different hills. All right. And then I'm even going to add another one here. And I'm just going to color that one in. All right. Now, they're not going to be doing a lot of coloring. They're mostly going to be drawing outlines with the oil pastels. All right, next I would have them work on the road. Well, no, actually I would have them do a building. All right, so they're going to want to have a farm, people, animals, landscape, variety, buildings, and trees. Those are consistent in her pieces. So I would move to the buildings next, and I would draw a barn. All right, and then maybe have a nice house next to it. Maybe I'll make a black house. Okay. And then maybe a little bitty shed next to the barn. Okay. All right, then we've got some buildings. Now we're going to do the road. I'm going to add this on the list. Okay. She always has roads. And you can make it a dark brown. I kind of like here that she has it light. So I'm going to have the road coming over that hill and then down and around, and then of course the house and the barn have their own little path connected, and then they go to the road. All right, that's going to be leading. All right, next, I might have another building, maybe over here, somebody's house. Let's see, maybe I'll make it a red, another red. No, how about brown? Brown building over here, somebody else's house. And again, remind them that we are just imitating, we're not master artists. We're just getting some of the details in that Grandma Moses had. All right, so we've got buildings, road, we need some trees. So again, you can remind them about perspective, that the trees up front will be bigger than trees in the background. Okay, you can have even a tree really close to the viewer, the person looking at this piece of art. Okay. And you're going to have all these oil pastels. You'll have all these colors. All right. Maybe this one will have a few different colors. Because we have light green and a dark green in our box. So, and again, my younger student tutors, have them copy you as much as you like. Okay? All right. I really liked this, so I'm going to do that. You see how it's one color, but then it's all these different. All right, got some pastures going on. We have more trees, or kind of bushes that look like trees maybe on the horizon. Good. All right, now I need some people and some animals. You can let them use their oil pastel, or you can move on to the fine tip Sharpie at this point and have, let's see, I'm going to have a couple of men back here in my background. And they're way back, so they're little. Okay, my Sharpie just died, of course. So then maybe I'm going to have somebody outside the barn here with a hat on. Okay. Maybe over here I'm going to have a dog. Maybe I'm going to do a couple of birds in the sky. Maybe here I'm just going to do some tufts of grass. Maybe I have another person or two girls. They're here. They're talking. Okay? So you can use the Sharpie to get a little bit of extra detail in there. So we have animals, people, a farm, landscape, buildings, trees, and roads. All right, last thing I would like you to do is make sure they do clouds with the white. All right, and they won't be able to see it very well, but we're going to watercolor over it. All right, so you have 15 minutes for that part, for the observation of Grandma Moses and phase 1 of the piece. Last step will be to do watercolor over the oil pastels. Remind your student that they're going to use a bunch of different colors here. We will have tins of watercolor in class with landscape and sky colors. We probably won't give you a bunch of pinks and oranges and things like that. But they can do a variety of colors. And we want to remind them to look again at Grandma Moses' pieces and see all the shades of green and brown that she has in there. It's not one shade of green. All right, and so you can see that the oil pastel stays and it resists this, okay? I won't do the whole painting right now, but I will show you the sky just because it's fun to see the clouds show up. All right, now remember again, you only have 15 minutes for this part. The details takes longer anyway, so this part will probably go really quickly. You will have to be careful with your older students. They may want to go slow, you know, and if they have watercolor at home, that's totally fine, but they may not. So again, I won't do the whole project right now, but you can see that it'll resist. Here's a couple of examples But this will be our Grandma Moses. Again, keep saying Grandma Moses, folk art, folk art, so that they leave class knowing that. All right, thanks guys.